Look at that. It's definitely a trend there. It's really reversed. Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, Tesla's sales are continuing to plummet, this time in the biggest market in the US. That's right. Bloomberg has the story here. California EV sales dropped for 7th straight quarter. That's right, 7 quarters in a row. And we can see here this isn't the only problem. Cybertruck resale value as jerry-rig, everything has pointed out here. When Elon said the Cybertruck would cost $39,000, he was obviously talking about its resale value. And Elon did say that when it first came out, it was going to be under $40,000. It came out at 100.
But it's going to...
But we can see the resale value here, value tracker, $32,200 for a Cybertruck, a drop of 41% since June 19th. That's a big drop. And there's a separate video about that, how badly Cybertruck sales are going, so I won't go over that here. But some of you who are observant, who watch the stock market, the stock may have noticed that shares are ripping higher as core California market collapses 20%. Someone says on here on X, and what could be the reason for that? Well, it could be that the Tesla diner in Hollywood, I think in West Hollywood, opened, and Elon is opening it on this week where earnings are coming up. I think it's probably on purpose that he wanted to get this going and create some more fanfare, which he is so good at. And it does look like it's been 7 years in the making, though, since he first announced it. But I do like the roast. And here someone says, getting your servers' attention at the Tesla diner, with Elon's infamous salute there. And Motorhead says here, the evolution of Tesla's cash cow products, starting with EVs, going to FSD and robotaxi. Of course, that isn't complete yet. We've got supervised robotaxis, only a few of them in Austin. More videos about that I have done. And energy, which, yes, is getting big. And then we have cheeseburgers. And this is a joke, but it has to be said. If we took this seriously, you know, the market cap, the market value of McDonald's is somewhere over $100 billion. But in terms of Tesla, Tesla's market cap is over $1 trillion. So even if it got as big as McDonald's, which, you know, if you've traveled in the world, they're everywhere. It's hard to find anywhere without McDonald's. So they would have to get that big to even make a dent in Tesla's market cap. But having said that, I think it's a good idea. I think the idea is, and Elon said this, to have it at the charging stations in the US and elsewhere, so people are stopping anyway. But I don't think it's a money maker. It might be a loss maker. Does anybody remember Planet Hollywood, how well that went? Quite a few places. There was one in Sydney when I was living there, and obviously in the US as well, but they didn't go so well. So it's hard to make this work, and selling cheeseburgers isn't really the mission of Tesla. And here we have inside the Tesla diner. We'll get back to the numbers, those crashing numbers in California in a second, but I'm enjoying the Tesla diner news that's coming out. So here we have Dan O'Dowd criticizing Optimus for being teleoperated. He says full self-driving software requires a supervisor. Tesla's robotaxi requires a safety monitor. And Tesla's autonomous robot requires a teleoperator. So it's pretty obvious that this is teleoperated. They have it in the diner helping to serve, I think it's popcorn here. And it's so obviously teleoperated, like that Wii robot event was when I covered that. And I think this is Omar, the chief Tesla influencer, Elon Jellicle there, getting some popcorn here. Let's have a look at this video.
Hey, Optimus.
Separately? Sure. Who's paying for the first one?
Oh, thank you.
Definitely teleoperated. That is not autonomous, obviously. Omar said this. He said that some of the engineers said that it was teleoperated.
Thanks,
All you need to do
Optimus.
is ask them. They can't lie about it. And here to roast Omar a little bit, here's, I think it's Omar leaving the diner after that opening. And look at that, he's leaving in a Waymo. It is autonomous. We could say that, but it's not a Tesla. He's not even driving his own Tesla. He's choosing to leave in a Waymo. That's pretty interesting, I think. Now, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I would appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button. Look, I forget to hit like even if I've liked the video when I'm watching YouTube. It's easy to do, so I would appreciate you doing that. So let's get back to this article. Are you doing that? This is the one where sales are dropping in California for the 7th straight quarter. So definitely a trend here. So the number of new Tesla vehicles registered in California fell once again as the company continued to lose ground in the largest US market for electric vehicles. A total of 41,138 Teslas were registered in the state last quarter, a 21% drop year on year for the company's 7th straight quarter decline, the California New Car Dealers Association said on Tuesday. And again, the Tesla diners covering this up, this sort of news. This is the actual news that really matters for Tesla. Tesla's tumble exceeded the 13% dip in total zero emission vehicle registrations in the state during the same period. The results highlight the magnitude of Tesla's ongoing slump. The car maker's global deliveries tumbled 13% in the quarter. And I'll show you the actual graph of the car sales here. Tesla's California registration fell for the 7th straight quarter, and look at that. It's definitely a trend there. It's really reversed, and I don't think it's going to get much better because the focus is on robotaxi. You know, Tesla pumpers say it's all about robotaxi now, but they're so far off from making a lot from that. And there's that safety monitor in there. They're selling fewer cars in a core market like California, and it's not just a one-off, it's a trend. And those tax credits going away, there's a lot of government money going away, so it's not looking good. And if we look at the US, now we have Wall Street analyst Gordon Johnson saying here, Tesla has now seen its US sales fall year on year consecutively in each of the past 3 quarters. And looking back over the past 3 quarters, Tesla's US sales are down in 5 of those 6 periods, with the Q2 2025 fall being the worst since Q1 2024. So it is affecting the greater market. We can say, oh, that's just California, but it's a very big market. So California is the 5th biggest economy in the world. If you thought of it as a country, that's how important. The analysts expect the EV maker to log a 2nd straight annual decline this year, according to the average of estimates compiled by Bloomberg. This is a Bloomberg article. The company is contending with an aging vehicle lineup, growing competition in the EV market, and a consumer backlash to CEO Elon Musk's work with the Trump administration, even after the billionaire's public falling out with the president. So Elon trying to get that back. You know, this diner is part of that, you know, part of trying to get popularity back. But a lot of people are boycotting Tesla products, including, I know, a lot of people who watch my videos. California registrations of top-selling Model Y declined 37%. Hadn't read that before. In the first half of the year, that came as it introduced a freshened version of the small SUV. They have announced, you know, a bigger refresh, but they're not brand new models. These are just really refreshes at different sizes. The company had blamed weak first quarter sales in part on factory shutdowns related to the update of the key model. So the report, which cites data from Experian, comes a day before Tesla is expected to report 2nd quarter earnings. So not looking good for 2nd quarter earnings. I'll bring you that news. With investors looking for an update on key plans for Tesla's automotive business, including progress on more affordable vehicles that could reignite consumer interest. So no word on that yet. Everybody was waiting for the new models here. I think he said in the second half of this year. And they've just announced, you know, a bigger Model Y really that's kind of replaces the Model X. That's what it is. A 3rd row of seats. Doesn't look that much bigger, but it's, if you put the Model X and that side by side, they do look pretty similar. So it's doing that job. So people waiting for the more affordable model, under 30,000. Even Omar has said it'll be difficult to get under 30,000. All right, so speaking of the market, I have posted my first video in 8 months on the Art of Value Markets channel. It used to be the investing channel. This is how this pod started. If you don't know that, way back started as investing. If you go back to early videos, they're all about investing in the stock market. That's how I got onto Tesla and what's happening with Tesla and started to question and critique what's happening with Tesla and what Elon's doing. But I want to do more. I've had a bit of a break from it, and I want to do more about other companies, other stocks and things. So if you are interested in this, I know a lot of people aren't, but there is some crossover there. So I'll put a link in the pinned comment to that and in the description as well to this video about the dot-com bubble, questioning whether the dot-com bubble 2.0 with this AI related stocks going on right now. And they had an interesting graph here that was on the compound. It's tracking at the moment, the market, the NASDAQ is tracking very closely to what happened during the dot-com bubble. So is this AI boom that's going on going to end in a similar way? Nobody's saying it's going to be exact, but this is pretty spooky. Go and see that now if you want to. I'm going to put a link on screen to that as well, up here to that very video as well, and a subscribe link on screen. Do follow along the other channel and this channel to get all of those videos presented to you in the feed if you want to. And thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.